You know I'm born to lose, and gambling's for fools. But as a great man once said, that's the way I like it, baby. So come and join me as we place our bets on which Necron units are making a comeback in 11th edition. Hello and welcome back to Warhammer. Today I want to talk to you about how Games Workshop uses an edition change of 40k to make us buy more plastic crack. They use new codexes as a lever to incentivize us to buy things that we don't have already. And this is particularly important for Necrons players, as I'm about to explain. While we all love Warhammer 40k, it's important to remember that Games Workshop is in the business of selling minis. That is its primary aim. One of the ways it ensures we buy more plastic crack is through edition changes in 40k. So, every edition, in every codex, some datasheets are just trash. They might be competitively weak, they might deviate wildly from their lore, or simply just not be fun to play. But the Wheel of Fortune always turns eventually. A new edition is a great opportunity for GW to incentivize you to buy those unloved units by giving them good datasheets. With 11th edition mere weeks away, I'm taking a big bet on which Necron units will be back in favour. Let me know what you think of my predictions in the comments, and please share your own. But before that, join me as I pull the lever on that Vegas slot machine and pray for a jackpot. Here we go. There are a good few Necron units that have been on my shelves for most of this edition. In fact, some of them have gathered more dust than Ahriman after he cast the rubric. And if you don't get that joke, ask a Thousand Sons player why their faction is so scared of vacuum cleaners. One of GW's favourite tricks is to make a bad wargear loadout from one edition good in the next edition. This is particularly important to Necron players, as a lot of our kits come with multiple ways to equip your minis. For example, Immortals with Gauss Blasters were the way to go in 9th edition, but then 10th saw Immortals with Tesla back in favour. So in this video, we'll review all the potential candidates, then I'm going to stick my neck out and try to predict some winners for you. Why is this useful? Well, if you agree I'm right, you can buy a couple of boxes of minis now before they become the new hotness and they sell out. Or you can even kit bash some from your bits box. We'll start with Battle Line, and at number 1 we've got Warriors with Gauss Flayers. In many areas of life, extra length is appreciated, but for Necron Warriors it's not been the case for a while now. In both 9th and 10th edition, the shorter range Gauss Reaper has been the better choice over the Gauss Flayer. Will GW make that 3 editions in a row? I'm betting not. So if you've built all your warriors with the short range gun, it might be worth trying to pick up 20 on the cheap and build them with the Flayers this time. In terms of betting odds, I think this is even money. It's pretty likely to happen. At number 2, it's Immortals with Gauss Blasters. As I just noted, Immortals with Gauss Blasters were the way to go in 9th, leaving a lot of us rushing to build some Tesla Immortals from our piles of shame when 10th edition dropped. Could 11th mean a return to Gauss Blasters? I wouldn't be surprised. Odds-wise, I'll give this 3-1. Moving on to other units, let's look at Death Marks. And we're starting here as Death Marks are another variant that you can build from the Immortals kit. Now, they have seen some play in 10th, but generally more in casual games, mainly because their shooting is about as effective as my willpower when faced with a packet of biscuits. Are GW about to finally make them live up to their awesome lore? Possibly. Now, if you've kept the arms and heads from that kit, you can kit bash Death Marks from spare warriors. And if a clumsy idiot like me can do it, so can you. Are they going to make a comeback though? Well, odds-wise, let's say 5-1. And before we go any further, if you're thinking of buying Necrons or any other 40k and hobby supplies in the UK, please use Loaded Dice. I've got a code for an extra 5% off, which is on top of the fantastic discounts that they already offer. Loaded Dice is an award-winning gaming store. It's got a bricks and mortar facility, which is in South Wales, but it also has a brilliant website. They do offer some very competitive discounts. They've got a great deal of stock, so please go and use them. It helps the channel. Now let's get back to the betting, and we're going to start with the Annihilation Barge. Now, I recently renamed this Hot Garbage, and I stand by it. I love the model, but it's been awful this edition. I think it's a likely candidate for the old GW datasheet switcheroo tactic, because this is also a kit that can be built two ways. As I'm sure you're aware, you can make the Catacomb Command Barge from the same box. And the Command Barge has been worth taking in a fair few lists during this edition, so a lot of you will have built it that way. So, be prepared for GW to sell a lot more of this box with a glow up for the Tesla boat. Odds-wise, I'm giving this 2-1. Following them is just a quick shout out to canoptek Scarab Swarms. They're a load of fun to play, but rarely a competitive choice in 10th edition, which makes me sad as I love my little scribs, as you know. That said, almost every Necron player already owns a ridiculous amount of these, as they come with the warrior sprues. I think at the last count I had 33 bases built and painted. Yeah, I know I've got a problem. But we also know that makes it unlikely that Scarabs will get a datasheet glow-up designed to sell more kits because we've already got them. So odds-wise, I'm afraid it's a 10-1 on the Scarabs. Hope I'm wrong, but it's an outside chance. Sticking with canopteks, let's look at Wraiths. And I'm not going to lie, this one terrifies me. I have 18 Wraiths, all built with the Vicious Claws loadout. However, the other way to build them is with whip coils. If GW makes whip coils the preferred option, I don't know if I have it in me to buy and build a load more of these guys. They would have to be like the best unit in the game. The only saving grace here is that the whip coils are not liked by the Necron player base because they take up too much room on the table and in transport, and they also break easily. Has that ever stopped GW before? Absolutely not. But I'll keep my fingers crossed, so the odds here are 6-1. Let's hope this one doesn't happen. Moving on, we'll look at another kit which enables you to build two different vehicles, and they are different. It's the Doomsday Ark and the Ghost Ark. The Doomsday Ark has carried almost all of our detachments during this edition. It's easily my most used unit, and probably the same for many of you. Now, Ghost Arks are used in the Unkillable Warrior build in Awakened Dynasty, and if you don't know what I mean, go and check out the video on my channel called Unkillable Warriors. But outside of that build, they've not seen much play due to their transport being less useful than British buses. I've just got a feeling that GW is going to make Ghost Arks great again, so be prepared for the pain of painting in sub-assemblies when you need 3 in a tournament list. Odds-wise, this one's a 3-1. It's a similar story for the Flying Croissants, the Doom Scythe and Night Scythe. In 10th edition, Games Workshop made it abundantly clear that it hates aircraft even more than I hate Eldari. Both of our Croissant variants are virtually unplayable in all but the most casual settings. I recently took 2 Doom Scythes to the King in the North casual tournament and they were still terrible. The death rays are incredible when they pop off, but the hulls are made of paper and they are just too easy to shoot out of the sky. Again, this is from one kit that can be built 2 ways, as you can also make it into the Night Scythe variant. And this one is seen on casual tables as it can be a Scorpec party bus, or you can do some shenanigans with immortals leaping out of it, shooting and then leaping back in. However, it has the same vulnerability as its crescent-shaped sister. Now, this is just a guess, but my feeling is that flyers might be back on the menu in 11th edition. And this is because there should be a little bit more room on the tabletop due to the big changes in terrain layouts that GW has already revealed. But I've got no idea which way this will go. Could we even realise the Croissant dream where both variants are good? I don't know. We'll give this one medium odds, 5-1. Sticking with the same theme, but we're going bigger. I do think the big stuff might also be making a comeback for the same reason as aircraft. The new terrain rules mean fewer L-shaped ruins on our tabletops. Hopefully that means more space for your set-piece models like this. Could that mean more sales of our biggest kit that can build either the Obelisk or the Tesseract Vault? I don't know. I mean, I can't remember the last time the Obelisk was good. If you can, let me know in the comments. Pretty much every Necron player I know who bought this kit has built it as the Vault. To GW, that has to look like an opportunity to sell us the same kit again, but to build the Obelisk. Personally, I don't own either of these yet, and I'm probably not going to buy one before 11th edition drops. If you're feeling generous, send me one in the post. But I do think this is definitely one to watch. Odds-wise, we'll give it 10 to 1. And from large to small, we're now going to talk about tomb blades. And the reason is tomb blades have 3 gun options: the particle caster, the Tesla, and the Gauss. Any one of those 3 could become the best option in 11th edition. But personally, I hate building this model, and I will not build any more. I think I've got about 12. Most opponents don't know the difference between the guns either, so you can easily proxy one variant for another on the tabletop. Odds on this one then are about 8 to 1. Here's one though that we really need to watch out for. It's the Lichguard and Triarch Praetorians box. This is the king of kits if you love extra bits. From one box you can build 4 different loadouts for 2 datasheets. In 10th edition, Lichguard with swords and shields have been the main choice. However, Lichguard with war scythes are now viable in Cursed Legion. I've recently built 15 of these and I'm looking to make that the full 20 by kit bashing some spare warriors. But Scytheguard are not my big bet for 11th edition. I think that is another variant from this kit. The Triarch Praetorians can also be built 2 ways, with the 2-handed Rod of the Covenant or with a Particle Caster and Void Blade. Neither has been great in this edition, but the caster and blade combo hasn't been great in ages. Again, if you can remember when this was good, let me know. So I think this is a safe and solid bet for a datasheet glow up in 11th edition. However, again, if you're short of cash, you can kit bash these from spare warriors. It's not that hard and they do look okay. But odds wise, I'm pretty certain this is going to happen. I'm giving it 2 to 1. The last one I want to talk about is Trazyn the Infinite. He's still in our codex because he was meant to get a new mini in 10th edition, but it never materialised. I have a theory about what happened, which I shared in my What's Next for Necrons video. Go and watch that and tell me what you think. He's getting an honourable mention here in this list, as I don't think it's worth buying the current Finecast model, and that's even if you can find it second hand. But I do expect him to have a strong datasheet when his new mini finally drops in 11th edition. Fingers crossed. So odds-wise, giving him 1 to 2. He is absolutely getting a new mini and he's absolutely going to be good. Those are all the runners and riders I've picked out, so let's look at the odds in ascending order. Scarab's making a comeback, 10 to 1. Same odds for the Obelisk making a comeback. For Tomb Blades having 1 gun variant, I've made them 8 to 1. The Wraiths with whip coils, hopefully wishful thinking, 6 to 1. The Doom Scythe and Night Scythe being back on the tables, 5 to 1. Death Marks finally being good, please make this so GW, 5 to 1. The Ghost Arc actually being able to transport 20 warriors with characters, can you imagine? 3 to 1. Same odds for Immortals with Gauss Blasters becoming the preferred choice over Tesla. And now we're getting down to the real predictions. The Annihilation Barge being good again, 2 to 1. Triarch Praetorians with Particle Casters, also 2 to 1. Warriors with Gauss Reapers, even money. And Trazyn is odds on at 1 to 2. There you have it. Those are my predictions of the Necron units that might make a comeback in 11th edition. But I want to hear what your thoughts are. Let me know in the comments, have I missed any? Do you disagree with any of those odds? As always, I'll try to reply to everything that you post. I love the engagement and it's really appreciated. What's also massively appreciated is my Patreons and YouTube channel members. Without you guys, I would not be able to make these videos. It's not an understatement. I really, really am grateful for your support. And if you love this content and you want to become a YouTube channel member, the pricing starts at just £3 per month. So it's not too much for you, but it all adds up for me and makes a big difference. So please join if you can. There is a link in the video description. The last thing I want to say is, if you don't own any of the Necron units that I've just mentioned, don't panic. We're going to have at least a few months to sort ourselves out. This is going to be a Codex rollover edition. So when 11th edition starts at the end of June, early July, your Codex, your 10th edition Codex, will still be valid. So all of those bad data sheets at the moment will still be bad. The change up, if it happens, will happen when we get a new Codex. But I think it's a great opportunity to start planning now at the end of 10th, get yourself ready for 11th, and if you don't know how to kit bash, you can start kit bashing now. It's a great skill to learn. That's it from me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.